Top news alert, U.S. stocks, Wall Street set for higher open after strong bank earnings, chip stocks rally.
D-Wave system announcement. The D-Wave system is not a system, and it's very weird. It's a $10 million quote-unquote commitment, which I'm not really sure what a $10 million commitment is. And again, this might force people to look at the valuation and say, why are we dealing with $10 million deals when, you know, we have a really big market cap? So I'm not sure the stock will react positively to the news, but objectively, you know, again, I don't like that word commitment. That's not necessarily revenue. You know, what does that mean? It's just it's very shaky. Yeah, over 5 years, commitment. You know, what is that? Citadel Securities. Yeah, I'll see how the market opens here. Some positive news out of D-Wave, seemingly positive at least. Omeros up 200%. Let's see what's going on there. 𝐶LSQ is also trading a lot. Novo Nordisk is doing something with Omeros, rare. Let's see what this drug is. Antibodies, MASP-3 antibody. Oh yeah, this is they've had this forever. Writing a big check, 340 up front. All right, we're off. D-Wave sells off a little bit here into the open on the good news after rallying a little bit. Let's see, Oklo is up 7%. Some news on nuclear there. Open door down. So these are our tells for speculative fervor. Nvidia up a tiny bit. Nvidia is starting to make me wonder a little bit about what's going on in the space. I'm very nervous. I love Nvidia. QBT up 9%. That looks like could be a good short for today. It's a very weird company. I don't think. Okay, quantum selling off a little bit here. Rigetti's down. D-Wave only up 5% now, below where it was before it announced positive news. Interesting signal there. Usually if a stock can't rally on positive news, it tends to mean something, that the stock is overbought. And even if even positive news can't get it to rally, then that's very concerning. So now these stocks have been flying, so you know, can't read too much into it, but it's something to think about. 𝐶LSQ up 10%, another quantum sort of scam company. Open door again, huge volume is down. It's been really lagging the last week or two. The metals companies, the rare earth metals companies are down a bit. I think the market's very toppy here, and I would not be surprised to see a pretty big sell-off. That Friday's sell-off is not really, you know, kind of related to any comments. Is more just a reason to start selling off. Anyway, we'll see. Still a lot of animal spirits, but still some caution. You know, Q3 earnings is starting. So far, so good. Haven't really seen any of the technology companies or economically sensitive companies report yet, but we'll see. I think at one point I was short over $100 million the quantum stock. I'll take requests and go to chat a little later. I have just a lot going on today. Meeting with one of the big exchanges. Got some other things, so not going to be the best stream today. I know Evax. Somebody asked about that and go, let's see what that is. Evaxion. Nice little name there. AI designed. Oh, that sounds like a short. Personalized cancer vax. AI drugs don't mix. Yeah, this sounds like a scam a lamb. Oh, it's 67 million market cap. Why am I looking at this garbage? I wish I could invent drugs. I'm banned from the drug industry, even though I want to invent this drug for these dying kids. This judge thought it was a good idea to ban me. Crazy, huh? Protein folding has... I'm sorry. What is protein folding used in drug discovery? Have you made a lot of drugs? Because I made a lot of drugs. Protein folding is not some useful thing in pharmaceuticals. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, my sentiments exactly, boss. QC is not flying, actually. It was flying. Looks like it's fading quite a bit. IonQ and Rigetti both barely up here, almost down. Yeah, Ryan, you know it. Quantum, protein folding, drug. Yeah, man, Abivax has worked out well. I did not invent the drug for pecan. I invented a possible drug for pecan. I don't know, dude. Redstone, I'm perplexed. Maybe I'll file a motion someday. Who knows? Okay, IonQ and Rigetti both down now. D-Wave quite a bit down from its positive news release, which, you know, is undeniably positive. Very vague with the $10 million quote-unquote commitment. which didn't really explain what that was. Was that are they a cloud that's going to commit to generating that revenue for their clients? It was really unclear what that was. They had an option to purchase the machines. They're not purchasing the machine. It's a very odd, like, selling agreement or something. But in any event. There's some drug stocks I like. Oklo, unbelievable, almost $200 now, $16. The nuclear reactor company still has not produced a single product or a single dollar revenue worth, what, narrowing now on 30 billion, I think? 26 billion. Remarkable. As I said, this is unprecedented times in frontier technology where the emerging technology companies' stock prices have really just staggering outperformance. I think it's pretty good news. It'd be a lot more positive if there was some obvious commitment. So Carol Ken's asked, why do you box with the trends that are going long? So I'm not, I'm a contrarian investor. I'm a short seller. I have longs, I have shorts. Some of my longs have 2x to 8x this year so far, so I'm pretty happy with those. But I short sell the companies, the stocks that I think are worthless, fraudulent, scams, etc. I don't short stocks of good companies. Very rarely, and if I do, I'm there for just a few minutes, usually. But this is how I invest. Not everybody invests that way. So some people would find it quite perplexing how, somebody invests this method. Now, everyone has a lot of different methods. They're fighting methods that are different. But, a Taekwondo master and, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master and a boxing master are all different types of fighters. So they would find it weird, amusing, funny almost how another boxer does it. The boxer would say, why don't you guys just punch? Just punch. Punching is good. You knock a guy out in one punch. And the Taekwondo guy says, no, you need to kick. It's all about kicking. So you got to decide, are you a boxer? Are you a Taekwondo specialist? Are you Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? It's up to you. You might go with the trends. You might say, I'm never going to take a loss in my portfolio. I cut all my losses immediately. And other fighters say, that's not how I fight. Okay, Syndax and Kura, thank you for that. I will add those to my list because there's a whole bunch of binaries. We got Biohaven. Okay, so I'm going to add Syndax. Yeah, Petro AI. Reading the chat GPT while he's talking to me. There's so many guys like this on Twitter that are just so confident. So I'm really happy to be short. We got Anavex, or Scamovex, as some of us like to say. We got Capricorn, all cap. That's 5 binaries. Anything else we're missing? Never met Mike Tyson, though. Yeah, Sarepta's going to like 50, man. I should just stop shorting Quantum and buy calls on Sarepta. Call doesn't have binary, does it? Evan Spiegel? Spiegel Evan is a different guy. I'm sure there is a guy named Spiegel Evan. All right, so a lot of selling in these two popular quantum stocks, 𝐼𝐞 and Rigetti, kind of leading the charge for the better part of a year here, and now starting to fall. I have not been working out. I wish I had been. Confirmatory PMOs come out in first Q4. Could be worrisome. Oklo fading a bit here. There are a few more quantum stocks. I guess there's, you can expand it to 7 or so companies sort of claiming quantum. Sort of 4 real ones, I guess, but no, I did not have us. Is this live? No, it doesn't say 9:45 in my upper right-hand corner. Open door's not at $7.46. You can't check that. The top is in, yes. I haven't looked at TLX. I do want to look at it. I just don't have the time I used to have. I have a real big business now, thanks to you guys, thanks to goodlterminal.com. And that means I have to hire executives and do all kinds of meetings all day long, and watching the stock market sort of taking a back seat. But I'm also considering hiring a staff to help me look at the markets. So I don't think AI is going to help, nuclear is going to help with AI compute. I have is it a variant perception? I don't know. Honestly, I think it's Occam's razor. But anyway, going back to my point, I think the energy markets can very easily handle the AI load. I don't think that we're going to see what the vision of, and again, I respect these guys really, really quite a lot. They're heroes, friends, or in some cases, or like partners or whatever. investees, but I don't necessarily 100% believe the narrative that's, the country or the world is going to be covered with AI data centers and we're going to need so much energy that's going to be like the matrix computronium. I think that's a little bit excessive. The energy economy and the energy sector is very large. It's trillions of dollars and it can support more traditional energy. Now, do we want to use lots of traditional energy for this? I don't know. But unless energy demands like 10x, which again, some people think it'll happen, and I'll explain why I don't, we could easily handle a steady like doubling of energy requirements. We have. Energy requirements go up over time. So to me, it's very, very, very like, clear that, we're just going to make more coal plants or like just, burn more coal or do whatever to what we normally do to increase energy. So at the end of the day, down the road, it could happen, but I think that, it'll be a gradual process. No single nuclear power plant can really add that much energy to the grid. It's like, you're talking basis point, for a new nuclear plant. Yeah, we have a huge energy grid. One nuclear power plant, maybe it adds 10 basis points, 5 basis points, a single basis point, depending on how big it is. So I think that the NVIDIA chips will become more efficient. We'll find better ways to work with these chips. And I don't know that we, are going to have the country covered in data centers. NVIDIA is, amazing company. The chip is it's probably the best company of all time, but it's also very levered to one thing, and that one thing has to happen. And when sometimes people get carried away with that, what that one thing is, and the idea that like we're going to completely transform our economy to the point of, which I agree with, but to the point where energy even is completely transformed, I think we're getting a little fanciful, because while energy is very important, it's not quite the bottleneck that I think people think it is. And then, we'll just have to see. I'm a big fan of NVIDIA, but being bullish on NVIDIA requires, just an expectation that they'll continue to grow revenue forever. AMD's coming to market. I don't think they're serious, but a serious threat. But AMD is not bullish for NVIDIA, at least. But again, not that important. I wouldn't draw too much attention to AMD, actually. I'd probably draw more attention to algorithmic efficiencies. Now, Jevons paradox tells us that, you can have algorithmic efficiencies and demand for compute will still go up. It's really hard to say what happens. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but it's not clear that you can get NVIDIA to 10 trillion, even though I've been espousing that for a while. Conditions in the field have changed a bit, and I don't know if I love the risk reward that much. Part of the reason is that the bubble in other asset prices tends to not help even good assets and good companies. FPGAs can outperform GPUs, but not for AI models, not for training and things like that. The problem is just the data requirements for FPGAs. You can't get enough bus speed and things like that. Well, if you have a GPA lower than 3.5, you should go get the GPA up a little bit. But just apply as many internships as you can. Yeah, taxing AI agents is a good idea. I think that there is a future where AI agents are embodied and they're kind of personhood of sorts. I could see that happening, and then they would be subject to tax, of course. I don't know. I don't think Jason even took the SAT. Yeah, we only hire people in New York, so you can't intern for us if you live in Germany. I don't know how you can help us, but we hire some summer interns. Yeah, it's really funny, MTK, HNV. Nicola's taking all the risks, saying all this crazy shit could put him in jail, and Rigetti's doing the opposite, right? Rigetti's like, yeah, it's 20 years away, man. I don't know why our stock is up, and their stock goes up even more than IMQ. And also, even funnier,
Top news alert, Morgan Stanley profit beats estimates on deal-making boost CFO cites record pipeline.
Even sort of funnier is the IonQ spinning its wheels to do like lots of different deals and things to try to make the business work, and Rigetti does absolutely nothing. Yeah, I mean, you could always email us if you want to apply for an internship. We I look at like 500 resumes for one intern, so be prepared to be rejected. But we mostly hire software interns, so only software engineers. We're short every quantum stock. We would never be long IonQ. I think it's just funny how hard 𝐀𝐲𝐧𝐬 tries and IonQ still underperforms Rigetti. Yeah, I could see legit fraud charges brought against IonQ. Yeah, South Korea is going to probably get hurt pretty bad. Well, the problem is, how do you know what's a bear market and what's a bull market? Does somebody tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, we're entering a bear market? I think they go up to handcuff level, WT81. No, I don't think so, Redstone. How many ping pong balls fit in a 747? Wow, the volume of a 747. Madmani? You talking about Madmani? My man? Allahu Akbar! That's my man. I think the book about Warren Buffett, Snowball, is really good to read. No, I'm starting to call quantum plus nuclear plus eVTOL Frontier Tech. There's no company called Frontier Tech as far as I know. Just Alcon, William. Novartis, I guess. Takeda. Yeah. WT, I agree. Oklo is going crazy. Yeah, Novartis basically got out of ophthalmology, right? With the Alcon spin plus the portfolio sale. I still think they have some prescription drugs. They sold 𝐬𝐧, right, to Takeda. Don't know anything about Campbell's soup, sorry. Yeah, I looked at Santa a long time ago. So I don't think this Eric, the guy, really has a brain. I mean, he could have, maybe this is a good stock, I don't know. But there's a lot of people trying to cure type 1 diabetes. And, you know, these guys are a player in that space. They could do okay. They may not. Vertex is kind of the big kahuna there. Yeah, QEBT was like a reverse merger. Yeah, I don't know what Eric Jackson, I mean, doesn't seem like he's any good. I wouldn't waste my time worrying about what he thinks about anything. Yeah, I mean, basically they're just taking the stocks for a gamble, trying to run them up, run them down, and then bag holders are bag holders. Yeah, it looks quantum's looking pretty weak here. It's funny that, you know, just being slightly up is, you know, is almost like, you know, something we're not used to. It's the stocks are always up so much that it's like they're weak if they're only up 3%. Yeah, did Jeffries take a spill on that? Yeah, wow. Look at that. BTQ is a short. It's a fraud. Dog. D-Wave is a fraud too. D-Wave computer doesn't do anything. Hasn't been doing anything for... Oh yeah, look at President Trudeau. Prime Minister Trudeau, pretty impressive. Yeah, Santa could be a good short on once it feels like it's peaked. It's a liquid small cap, so we'll see how far they run it. Surge, that's a very cool fantasy, but the stock market's much bigger than you think. These stocks are trading billions and billions of dollars. So no, there's no one market participant trying to spite me. This just doesn't make any sense. Okay, D-Wave almost down remarkably. They had positive news today, so very bearish if you're involved in D-Wave. Positive news should always send the stock price up if the supply-demand is in balance. So this is very... No, sell it all. I told you sell it. No, this isn't a negotiation. I said sell. That means sell. There's no interpretation here. How's the satellite look? Yep. Hold on. Yep. Point the satellite. Are you ready? 37, 7749 degrees north, 122, 4149 degrees west. Yep, right there. Yep. Exactly. Okay. I can be in Dubai in 12 hours, maybe 11 if we catch the jet stream. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, I can't believe we're doing this. It's come to this. Oh well. Okay, see you then. Bye. I keep messing with this mute button. I never know if I'm on or off. So something came up. I might have to go to New Jersey to see some family. But if I'm gone for like a day, just, you know, hang in there without me. Just keep on trading. Everything's good. Everything's great.
Top news alert. U.S. governors launch alliance to bolster coordination on public health.
Why? What are you talking about? I'm going to South Jersey. I've never been to Dubai. So yeah, maybe when I'm back, we can really drill into some stocks because I've been just so jammed and busy on other things. Frustrating, I know, but yeah, we have so many Godel users and institutions and things like that like I'm now starting to like lose touch with the market, which I don't like because that's also what gives me my superpower. My stock picks are pretty simple. I'm short quantum, all right? Ooh, QUBT almost down. It was up almost 10% yesterday. It looks like this bubble is finally popping, boys. Let's go. Birdman time. Maybe the best philosophy book. Really great book, if you haven't read it. I haven't read this yet, but I'd like to. Rarely you see this kind of... You want to be a computer expert? Read this. That's where it all started. Thank you, man. I've never read this. Payman. This is kind of the GOAT book about Wall Street. This is a good book. I read this in prison, actually. Physics thing. GOAT, libertarian.